What does it take to make Lyme take less? How do you make Lyme take less time, money, energy, focus? We'll talk about it. Hang on. I forgot to put my Santa hat on. Give me 1 second. And you might be thinking, is the Santa hat really necessary? And no, of course not. But I like having fun. I like keeping it a little bit light, especially when we're talking about something so serious like our health, our longevity, the amount of energy and life we have in our years and how many years we have in our life, and making those years count, making our health the pillar that everything else stands on, because it just simply is. Without health, what do we have? Death. And we need to focus on our health in order to avoid the worst possible scenarios, and so that we can just have a good life, right? We don't want to be in pain. We don't want to have headaches or joint pain or heart problems or brain fog or brain problems. We just want it all to go away. And I totally understand why you would feel that way. So you're probably wondering 3 really important questions, maybe four questions. All right. And we're going to talk about them today. The first one is, will this work for me? Will I be able to get better from Lyme disease? This is what you're thinking. You're not really worried about all of the little details. You just want to know if it's going to actually work. The second thing is, how hard is it? How much effort am I going to have to put in order to make this work? And is it going to take all of my energy and all of my time in order to do this? The third thing is, how much does it cost, right? How much money is it going to cost me in order to get better? And finally, how long does it take? If I start today doing all the right things, how long until I have my life back, until I have my body back? These are all things that you're probably wondering, and today I'm going to answer those questions. So the first one, will this work for me? Well, this is something that's going to vary. Obviously, all of these vary for individual to individual, but I can tell you this. We've seen people get better. We've seen it over and over again. I have hundreds of reviews on our site, LymeWars.com. You can go check them out. We have clients who have gone from bedridden all the way not able to walk, can't use even with a cane, can't use anything. They couldn't get out of bed, bedridden, all the way to walking without a cane, just by using our protocol, our coaching, and our programs that we set up with a process in order to get better from Lyme disease and co-infections. This person, especially Donna, her name is, she had the most incredible turnaround story. I loved it, seeing that happen for her and seeing her go from where she was to where she wanted to be was a life-changing experience for me as someone that was able to watch that happen. See, I knew that I could do it. I knew that I could help my friends do it, but could I help an absolute stranger in a different part of the world get better from Lyme disease? And Donna was proof that I could do that. And since then, I've been on a tear helping hundreds of people. Anyone that I can talk to, I want to help them get better from Lyme disease and co-infections, or even just chronic illness. If they just want to feel better, 40% better, 20% better, even just 10% better, because they're not all the way there yet, or the people that need to feel 100% better, need an absolute transformation. All of those people deserve to feel like the best version of themselves. They deserve to have the energy and the focus and the confidence in their health decisions so that they can show up in their life the best way that they possibly can, for their career, for their family, for their relationships, for everything to go well in your life. You need your health to be in order first. So it just changed the way that I look at the world when I was able to help somebody who was in such a bad position turn around and get in such a good position, where she was now, riding her go-kart around her farm, doing all the chores that needed to be done without having to hire help, without having to walk around with a cane, and without having to, kind of stay stuck and use a walker just to go to the bathroom. It's one thing to get older in life and lose certain faculties, but when a disease is causing it, when there's an infection in your body that you didn't ask for that's causing this problem, and it's possible to get rid of it, how can we just sit around? How can we just not focus on doing that? How can we sit around and avoid the process that gets you there? So Will this work for you? Well, I can't say for sure that it'll work for you because I don't know you, but it's worked for so many people, and I'm willing to bet that it would work for you, which is why we always have money back guarantees, because we don't want your money if it doesn't work for you. We don't want to continually, we don't want to make it so you're getting something that's not valuable to you. That would be called a scam, and that's not what we're about. So will it work for you? Well, it's worked for hundreds of other people. How much proof do you need to see in order to feel comfortable that it will work for you as well? See, it's not just about the herbs that we use at LymeWars.com. It's also about the process that we use, that we've been taking more and more people through. And as we go through, we see what works, what does not work. We tweak things, we make things better. So the longer time goes on, the more chance that you will successfully heal from Lyme disease by using our programs. That's just how it works. And if anybody ever gets stuck along the process of getting better, we dive in head first and help them in every way possible so that they can get over that hurdle, they can get over that road bump, even if it means, like, if I have to go get on a flight and go to this person's house and help them through a process step by step because they're not able to get the results that they wanted to get from the program, I will do that. It's not beyond me to go fly out to people one-on-one, face-to-face, in person, and help them get better. I am willing to do anything to help someone change their life and get better from Lyme disease. And the reason for that, as I've said so many times before, is because it affected me so deeply. And to be completely honest, maybe even a little bit selfish, it feels really, really good to help somebody go from sick, not feeling like themselves, not feeling well, to being able to live the life that they wanted to live to begin with, and have their health back and have their body back. It feels so good to me to be able to provide that to somebody else. And so that's my selfish reason for doing it. Of course, there is financial incentive to do these things as well. But to tell you the truth, I haven't made a dime off of it. I just recycle all the money back in so we can reach more people and help more people, because I'm addicted to the feeling that I get when I see someone take back their life. So, will this work for you? The question is, will you work for it? And how hard is it is the next question. So that's what you're probably wondering now. Will I work for it? Well, how hard do I have to work, right? If I have to, push a giant 7,000 pound boulder up a mountain, then no, I'm not going to work for that, right? It's too hard. It's going to take too long. It's going to be too vicious, and it's harmful and hurtful. See, sometimes there's surgery, there's prescriptions, there's deep, hard, difficult solutions to problems, right? Your doctor might tell you, oh, you need a surgery because your shoulder isn't working correctly, just as a random example. And sometimes that's the best option. Other times that is not the best option, right? So there could be a very, very difficult process to fixing a problem, but that doesn't mean it's the best process for fixing that problem. So how hard will this be for you in order to get through Lyme disease? Well, for me personally, I had to change my diet. I had to change the people I hung out around. I had to change my mentality. I had to change my focus. I had to change the supplements that I took. I had to change what I did day to day, my behaviors. But the really cool part about it is all of the things that helped me get better from Lyme disease also helped me get better as an individual. They also helped me get healthier. They also helped me feel good. They also helped me, be hydrated. They also helped me, I could go on and on and on. They helped me detoxify my body, et cetera, et cetera. These are things that I needed in order to get to the next level, but I wasn't able to put the effort in until there was a very difficult problem such as Lyme disease in front of me. That's why some people say Lyme disease is their biggest blessing in disguise, right? And yes, it's in disguise because it absolutely sucks. Don't get me wrong, it's terrible. But at the end of it, at the end of the tunnel, when you get to the other side, that's when you can look back and say, from a place of privilege, and say, that was something good for my life because it caused me to level up. It caused me to focus on my health. It caused me to change who I was showing up as. And that's what I hear from my clients all the time and from my friends that I helped get better and for myself as well. These big health challenges that come up and smack us in the face, we can either get really serious and get through it, or we can, suffer, stay stuck, complain about it, and become a victim. And I'm not a victim. I'm not willing to be a victim, and I needed to stand up and show up for myself so that I could take control back of my own body. After all, it's my body, right? It's your body. So how are you going to stand up and take control of your body? That is the most difficult part, is the decision to do that. And then sticking with that decision is also hard, but that's where support groups come in. That's where we come in, where we hold you accountable, where we create all of the plan for you so you don't have to think, you don't have to get confused, you don't have to fall off the track, you don't have to, wonder if maybe this other diet is the right way, maybe I should follow this guy's program, maybe I should follow, jumping from thing to thing, you never get anywhere. So if we can keep you focused and we can keep you accountable, we can keep you on the path, you're 100 times more likely to get better, right? So how hard is it? It can be difficult, it can be tricky at first, but I don't think it's so hard that you cannot do it. I believe anybody can get better from Lyme disease with enough effort, with enough time, with enough patience, with enough people focusing on the problem, right? And so for those people that have been stuck with Lyme disease for a long time, if you have chronic Lyme issues, post-treatment Lyme syndrome, symptoms that are just still there and you don't understand why, and you're wondering how hard is it to get better, and I haven't seen any results, and I feel like I'm stuck, and I've changed things in my life, but it hasn't worked. I hear you. I understand. And I get where you're coming from, and I've seen this so many times before. But sometimes what it really takes is that focus from another person, from an outside source, a third-party source that can look into the problems in your life and help you untangle them from the root cause, not just, put a Band-Aid patch on it and say, see you later, or here's a pill, see you later. No, we need to focus on you as a whole individual. There's many different pieces and parts to you. You're specific, you're an individual, and focusing on it that way makes it way easier because you actually have a plan that's related to you and your life, not just, the next thing that somebody else said will work. So how hard is it? It doesn't have to be that hard if you follow a step-by-step process. How much does it cost? Well, I looked into this. I wanted to figure out how much are people spending? What are the different things they could spend money on? And what is the top earners spending their time and money on to get better from Lyme disease? And what are the people who are more budget friendly, who need the cheapest solution? What are they spending their time and money on? The people that need the cheapest solution, I understand. I've been there. I was there. A lot of people lose their job from Lyme disease. So if you're employed, if you're considered a high earner, if you're considered somebody that makes a lot of money, congratulations, you're in a great position. You can actually use money to speed up this whole process. You can invest your money in getting better because, as you know, your health is the foundation for everything else. So it makes sense. There actually is an ROI for that investment. ROI meaning return on investment. And I've seen this happen for me. I spent thousands of dollars on my health. It came back to me a lot more because I was showing up for myself, and that allowed me to show up in my career, and then my career did really well, and then I was able to continue that process and that cycle without falling off of the wellness train, so to speak. So I've seen that on the lower end, people will spend $79, right, to try some herbs to see if they get better from Lyme disease. Now, these people are excellent. They're so smart, and they're so just, I love the fact that they step up and they take action and try to fight Lyme disease with the most affordable option right now, which is the Lyme Wars herbs at lymewars.com. Those herbs cost $79 per month right now. Next month, they're going to go up a little bit in price because we're figuring out the business model in order to reach the most amount of people, in order to help people, in the most efficient possible way without, losing everything in the process. It's very difficult. It's very risky. And so we have to increase the price in order to make it work in 2025. So that means that right now you can get grandfathered in at the lowest possible price, which is only $79. It's like $2 a day or something like that, if you do the math, in order to take the herbs that worked for me when I was fighting Lyme disease, that helped my friend James, helped my friend Sarah, and then helped thousands of clients then since. So that protocol works really well, especially if you just need the bare essential minimum just to start to take back your body. If you just need the essentials, right? The necessities, then this is for you, right? If you're the type of person that drives a car that's like a 2005 because it has over 100,000 miles on it, but you're still driving it because, hey, it still works, right? You're a utilitarian person. It gets from point A to point B. That's all that matters. Then you want the Lyme Wars Herb Box at LymeDiseaseWars.com, because it's just the spare, simple ingredients, one ingredient per capsule that makes it the most pure, the most potent, the highest quality. And then we can third-party test those, which we do every single batch to make sure that they're high quality and safe. I give them to my children. I take them myself because I know that they're 100% safe. And so that is what happens when you have the least amount of money to spend. If you're one of those people, it's okay, right? I was there, and that's why I started doing this to begin with, is because I was there. I felt like, oh my God, if I could just spend more money, I would probably be able to get better faster, because there's so many different things I could try for my health that would help me get better. But I couldn't. I didn't have that. I didn't have the luxury. I didn't have the Lyme Wars herbs. I had to actually create things from scratch. I had to find things. I had to work with herbalists. I spent a lot of money, right? And so for me, I spent probably closer to $4,000, $5,000 that year that I was trying to get better. Many people that I see, it's very common to see people spend around $3,000 per year fighting Lyme disease. And that would be like a little bit on the lower end for just getting all of the supplements that they need, all of the coaching that they need, all of the support that they need, around $3,000 per year. I think that comes out to like $250 a month or something like that. So if you're wondering how much it costs, it could range from $79 per month, which is the Lyme Wars herbs. They're the highest quality, but they're also the most affordable, all the way up to tens of thousands of dollars. There's retreat programs that cost $30,000. There's inpatient programs that cost $50,000 to $100,000. These types of programs exist for the wealthy people that can, spend a ton of money all at once for their health. And these types of people do get faster results because they have more attention, more focus. They can focus their time on the things that matter to them rather than focusing on their health. And that allows them to, continue, having a successful career, or, it continues to keep their life in order so they don't have to stop everything in order to fight Lyme disease. And that's incredible for those people. Now, so it can range, again, anywhere from $79 per month all the way up to like hundreds of thousands of dollars for the people that are really, really committed to saving time, saving energy, and getting the best possible bang for their buck. They pay the most amount up front, and then they get all that help, all those resources, all of that time, all of those supplements, all of the stuff that they need right away. And so, is this fair? I'm not saying it's fair. I'm not saying it's unfair. I'm just saying this is how it is, okay? The people with the most money spend it on their health in order to get better quicker. The people with less money need an affordable option. That's why we created LymeWars.com, to make sure everybody has that option available to them. And we give all types of deals. If you get bulk, you can get more in advance and get a huge deal on that. Free shipping, all of the good stuff. But you should just go check it out, because I'm pretty tired of talking about it over and over again. If you need the most affordable solution, that's the best way to go. If you need the best solution, my argument would be you need a process, right? And whatever it costs to get that process that's going to actually work, a process that you've seen people have gotten better from because they leave reviews, they leave comments saying, oh my gosh, this changed my whole life. That's the type of process that you need. Our process is bulletproof. I love it, and it gets better every single year. So I would obviously recommend our program above all of the other programs. It is there. We do have a more expensive program where we focus on, platinum level VIP level service, where it's people that have more money that need to get better faster, and they don't have the time, energy, or resources to be focused all on their health. And they just want the tools that work so that they can continue doing what they were doing before. That's what we also have for people that are ready to take that step. And then finally, you're wondering, well, okay, so it could range from $79 all the way up to a bajillion. And what's the average? Like, how much does someone normally spend? I would say typically, like I said before, typically we're seeing like $3,000 per year on someone who's very serious about their health and wants to get better from Lyme disease. And anything a little bit more than that, you can just imagine. For me, it was around $5,000 per year. And I'm just being completely honest and transparent and telling you what I've seen out there and what I'm seeing from people, what they're spending, and then taking an average of all of that. Okay? And that's, like I said, around $3,000. So how long does it take? Right? And that's the final thing that you're wondering, because you're saying, if I'm going to invest all this money, I hope it doesn't take that long. I hope it's a quick turnaround time so that I can just quickly get back to myself. I can quickly get back to my life. And I totally understand that response. See, I did not have time for Lyme disease. I didn't want to deal with it. I didn't want to focus on it. And that's why the people, like I just said before, that have the most resources, they tend to invest in their health quickly, as fast as possible, so that they don't have to deal with it very long. The more resources you put into it, the quicker the problem tends to go away. So how long does it take? It's gonna be different for every individual. If you're doing the bare minimum and you're not doing the things like changing your lifestyle, changing your diet, changing your environment, changing your relationships, and all of the other stuff in your life that could be a problem, then you're just dealing with, I'm taking the supplements, right? And that's all you're focused on, then it could take longer. In my opinion, that's when we see people taking 2-3 years to deal with their symptoms and get everything cleared away. But if you're someone that takes action quickly, you changed your diet, you started taking the herbs right away, you started taking the other supplements that really help you, well, we see those people have beneficial results within days. We get emails all the time of people saying, I've been taking it for 3 days and I feel amazing. Now, I'm not saying these results are not typical. These are not normal results, but it has happened. People have told us they feel better within a couple of days of using it. Specifically, Carol's coming to my mind, who's someone that started taking the herbs and started seeing results within 3 days. So I like to tell people it takes a little bit longer. And the reason for that is because I want to set clear, realistic expectations. I don't want you running out there thinking it's going to be 2 days and then it's, 2 months. I want you to really know how long it's going to take. And if I could get everyone to do one simple thing, it would be to devote and commit 1 year, 365 days to your health. Now, everybody can't do that. And some people don't do that. And some people will never do that. And some people have a lot of money, so they just pay someone else to deal with it. And then they kind of continue doing what they were doing. They never really focus on their health. They just have the problem kind of solved for them, which is excellent if you're up for that, if you're able to do that. But for everybody else who's DIYing it, they're doing it themselves. They're trying to get better themselves. I would say focus for a year. Give yourself that year of healing from Lyme disease. That means no alcohol. Okay? This is where, going back to how hard is it, right? All of our addictions need to be under a microscope. All of the things that we like to do can be under a microscope. It can get tricky with changing things in your life. Now, I'm not saying you have to cut everything out all at once. It's a process, right? It's a process that you go through step by step, and then it recycles back on itself so you can make it better and better and better and improve over time rather than just trying to kind of like change your whole lifestyle overnight. That doesn't work. That's not possible. It kind of messes everything up for you. It's mentally draining, and it causes you to quit faster. So instead, we go through a process, makes it nice and easy breezy. We sit back, we go through it step by step, then we do it again until things are cleared up in a much better way. All that weight is dropped off of our shoulders. We feel lighter, we feel healthier, and our body starts to rejuvenate and take itself back over. So how long does it take? Give yourself a year. I have clients who are sticking with me much longer than a year. They said, I'm going to do this for the rest of my life because it feels so good. Now, that's amazing. I love that. But you don't have to do that always, right? There is a certain level of maintenance you should be doing. There are certain things you should be doing in order to feel healthy, just like everybody else, right? We have to exercise, get sunlight, get hydration, take showers, have hygiene, right? We have to do a certain level of maintenance work in order to stay healthy. But these people, tend to kind of just want to stay with it for a lot longer, which is totally fine, totally your prerogative. And if you give yourself any time at all, I would say give yourself at least 3 months, right? Give yourself at least 3 months to see what type of effects start to happen in your body. And ideally, start doing all of the other lifestyle changes along with some of the herbs and the supplements, right? We're not just going to take herbs and continue eating, McDonald's, for an example. I'm not saying you're doing this. I'm saying somebody could potentially do that. Eat fast food and then continue and then take herbs and then say, I'm not getting any better. Yeah, well, you're eating garbage, high fructose corn syrup and, recycled animal parts. You're not just going to pop out of bed with a bunch of energy the next day, right? It doesn't work like that. We have to have a base level, a foundation of health in order to build from. And that's what our programs do. That's what they assume. They assume that you don't have any experience with health whatsoever. So that way we can find your base level quickly and slot you in so that you have that foundation to build from. If that doesn't make sense to you, don't worry. Our process is very streamlined, very simple. Once you get into it, you will see. So, how long does it take? I would say give yourself 3 months to 12 months to really focus on your health, right? And sometimes, people will give themselves 12 months. I did 12 months, nothing changed. And again, they weren't really focused on improving for 12 months. It's an improvement cycle, right? It's not just going to be, boom, everything changed 12 months later, I'm good. In my experience, things need to change beyond just what we're eating, beyond just what type of supplements we're taking. For me personally, I had to change relationships, how I showed up, how I thought about myself, how I thought about other people, who I spent time with, the company that I had around me. I had to think deeply about all of these areas of my life, and I changed things from there. Now again, when you get help, when you get someone else, helping you have a microscope over your life, it really helps you to pick apart these things and put them back together in a nice, healthy order so that you feel good, so that you're confident, so that you look good, so that you have your health back, and then you start showing up as a different person and you start to feel like the best version of yourself in 2025. Because that's what we're doing here. January 6th to the 10th is the Stop Lyme Challenge. Show up to it because it's going to blow your mind. And that's all I have. That's the only ask that I have from you. I've been live now. This is the 5th day in a row. It's day 5 of 5. And all I ask is that you show up January 6th to the 10th for another 5-day event. But it's going to be a lot different. I'm going to have presentations and very in-depth content that's going to help take you through the process so you can start to see results by the end of the 5 days. And that way you know for sure that this is going to work for you. So if you don't feel different at the end of this 5-day challenge, I'll be shocked. Just show up January 6th to the 10th right here on this YouTube channel. Hit the subscribe button if you're new here, and let's get started. January 6th to the 10th. My name is Ryan Kearns. I personally dealt with Lyme disease. It was very difficult. I just work really hard to make it easier for other people. and now you're here. So let's do this together. January 6th to the 10th, Stop Lyme Challenge 2025 is going to be our year, you and I. You can do this. In 2025, you're going to take back your body. You're going to start to feel like a better version of yourself, and you're going to see improvements happen over time as you get addicted to the process that is improving your body from the inside out. So thank you so much.